When you start your shift, the first thing you should do after clocking in is grab a production sheet. They are located in the bin on the wall as shown. We are going to go over how to correctly and fully fill out your daily production sheets, and what each section means. Using these production sheets are an important part to keep the business running smoothly. They provide information to the production manager on what jobs are making quota, what we need to spend more time on, and what we need to speed up or adjust to make a job profitable. After grabbing a new production sheet and getting to your workstation, you'll need to legibly write your name, the date, the time you clocked in, the machine you're running, the part number, which is located on the board in the office, or on your blueprint which is at your machine, and the operation you're running. This is located on your in-process inspection sheet, or on your process sheet. Write down your rate, parts per hour. Your rate can be found on the board next to your part number, or on your work order, which is located on the back of your blueprint packet. Next, fill out your hours section. For this example, we will be using day shifts hours. 6 to 7, 7 to 8, 8 to 9, etc. After doing these steps, you're ready to start your day. There are many different categories labeled on your sheet that you can use to describe what you did with your time during the workday. The first category is machine run. This section is the most important on the sheet, because it will tell the production manager how much of your hour was spent running the machine and making parts. Ideally, most of your time spent will be in this section. The more time spent running, equals the more parts you make, equals the faster we can get jobs in and out of the door. The next section on your sheet is machine down. This category is used for instances where you have an unusual alarm show up on your machine, broken tools, or a power outage. When you have to flip inserts, change out entire tools, or sharpen a drill bit, the tooling, sharpen section is where you should log your time. The troubleshooting section is used for problem solving. If you or a coworker cannot figure out the exact issue going on out on the floor with a machine error, or a part miscalculation, you should put your time in the troubleshooting section. Be sure to write down the issue and what you did to solve it in the notes section below. If you have to stop running your machine in order to help a coworker with something, log your time into the Help Others section. The manual machining section is to be used when you have to machine a job on the Wilton, Bridgeport, or 1660. These machines are not CNC machines, and have to be controlled manually by the operator. The rework, no production section of your sheet is used for when you have to fix a part that has already been completed. Sometimes errors happen and parts are made to the wrong dimension. Therefore we have to go back and remachine parts to the correct dimension. The cleaning section of your sheet is self-explanatory. If you notice an area that needs swept or wiped down and you're not running production, take the time to clean that area. There is always something to be cleaned in the shop, so if you have a long cycle time and you're just waiting on your machine, pick up a broom and sweep around your area. Write down whatever you cleaned in your notes below. On occasion, we will have a shop-wide meeting. For this case, use the meetings, trainings area of your sheet. This area is also used if you're learning to do something new that you haven't experienced before. Sometimes we will dedicate an employee to show you something specific such as a machine setup, or how to use the CMM. The other section on your sheet is used to document breaks, or something that you can't fit into any other category. With that being said, make certain you go into detail in your notes section about what you used this time for. Use the lunch section to write down the time for your 30-minute lunch. The next few part count sections are used to write down your hourly count of how many parts you made. You'll always start by using the first machine ran area, but if you move to another machine, you will switch to the next section. This makes it simple and easy for the production manager to see what number of parts were ran on what machine. The next several areas on your production sheet are used for setups. A setup is when a qualified employee takes the next job, and arranges the way we will be machining that part. Setups take time, as you have to gather tools, inserts, fixtures, and programs. The programming section is used for an employee that has to write a program. A program is a series of coded software instructions the machines use to execute all of their automated movements. Pre-tooling is when a person gathers all of the tools and prepares them for being inserted into the machine. This step is sometimes done in advance to ensure we have the correct tooling for an upcoming job. The other section in the setup area is used for specific situations, such as creating a fixture or cutting jaws. Write down what you used the other section for in your setup notes at the bottom of the page. Now that we have went through each section, your production sheet should look something like this towards the end of the day. You should be filling out each hour with the correct time spent as the day goes on. Before you end your shift, add the totals of each column up and put them in the bottom row. Doing so will make it much easier on the production manager to quickly see where your day was spent. Take the total of your machine run column and write it up top in the machine run time space. After adding up all of the parts you ran in your shift, write the total in the total parts ran space. Now, this section of your sheet is complete. Your production manager will take your total time ran, your total part count, and your rate per hour, and determine a percentage based on those statistics. When it comes time to end your shift, write down what time you clock out in the clock out time section. Your production sheet for the day is now complete. It should look something like this. After it's all done, it's time to turn it in. Place your production sheet on the production manager's desk before leaving for the day.